I'm giving you 7 tips for having dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less, and I'm not joking. This is not some hokey stuff. This is real good tips for y'all tonight. Parents are asking me all the time how they can quickly make dinner. And listen, there is time involved. So I'm going to tell you the quick methods in order that you can get it done and get out of there. My name is Sharisse Dalby. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I work with families and kids to help them through their digestive, emotional, and time management issues, all the things that hold them back from feeling healthy. We get her done. And so tonight we're talking that time management side of things and how you can get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less. So let me tell you, when parents come to me, and they're saying like, I need a fast dinner. I need you to give me ideas for quick dinners. I asked before once in my private Facebook community group, I said, if you could sit down with me for an hour, what question would you want to ask me? Like, you'd have my time for free for an hour. What would you want to know? And you know what the majority of them said? I'd want some quick dinner recipes. And I'm thinking, really? You had me for an hour and that's what you want? But all that to say is what people are wanting. And if you're ever on my blog, those are what my recipes are, but yet I find people don't think that they are. And so I wanted to clear the air about how it is that you actually make it quick, because a dinner can take you as long as you make it. So let me give you my 7 tips on how I make dinner in 30 minutes or less every day, okay? So the first one is, if it's something that will take time, you prep it the night before. The more you can prep the night before, the faster it's going to be the day of. So if you don't do your weekly Sunday prep, you got to do some prep the night before. It helps a ton if that's just cooking up your meat or pre-cutting your veggies. But if you've got 45 minutes before you got to take the kids out to an activity or you've got to go somewhere, if you've already got most things prepped, it's probably going to take you less than 20 minutes. Okay? It's that easy. So prep as much as you can the night before. That's number 1. Number 2, use your slow cooker, guys. If you've got a slow cooker, that's like the best if you're in a hurry, because you put everything in either the night before or the morning of, you turn it on the morning of, and you come home and dinner's made and your house even smells good. It's a dream. So if you have a slow cooker and you don't use it, use it. If you don't have a slow cooker, invest in one. They are worth their weight in gold. It's like having a personal chef at home. It cooks all day while you're at work. How awesome is that? So that's number 2. I will recap these at the end, guys, so don't worry. Number 3, simplify your meal. Oftentimes we overcomplicate our meal, and that's why it takes us so long. Or we choose a meal that is just really complicated. So if you pick a meal that sounds really good, but it's super complicated, don't be afraid to simplify. If there's 20 ingredients, try and knock it down to 10. I always try and keep my recipes 10 or less because 10 or less ingredients, because it just makes it easier. So simplify the recipe as much as possible. If this uses like 10 different dishes to try and make it into one pot. Often you can put everything into one and stick it in the oven and eventually it turns out, right? So that's number 3. Number 4, pull it out of the freezer. But to do that, you got to double and triple batch. So when you make something that you know your family loves and that might take a little more time, double or triple the batch so you can portion it out and freeze it for those days that you're really in a hurry. One thing I like to do is just simply with chili, which is a simple one to begin with, but the longer it sits, the better it tastes. So you can make it in 30 minutes, but it tastes better if it's been sitting 3 hours. So I like to make that in large batches and then freeze that to pull out at later dates because it's so easy to reheat and just to have them eat it before they got to head out the door, okay? That's number 5. No, 4. Number 5, apparently I need to go to school to learn how to count. Number 5, go vegetarian. I know. Don't turn me off just because I said that. But the reason why I say that is because meat takes a long time to cook. Often, nombre cinco. Often, vegetarian is faster. Not always. If you're cooking dried beans and stuff, they've got to be prepped overnight, stuff like that. But you can get like low sodium beans that are already in a can that have nothing bad in them. Eden Organics is my favorite brand. And it's super easy to use. Like I love to use chickpeas and make my taco seasoning and that's my tacos, and it literally takes 10 minutes for me to make. That's how fast it is. Quinoa is 20 minutes to make. You can use that instead of meat because it's such a good source of protein. Edamame beans. Like, there's lots of different options vegetarian-wise. Even tofu doesn't take as long to cook that you can use that will just cook faster than meat. So consider that when you're in a really big hurry. I like to always keep some canned beans, even though I use dried beans as well. I like to keep canned ones on hand or quinoa on hand for those nights I really need something quick. That is number 5. Number 6, almost done, and I'll recap for you guys. Number 6, and I always say this, but you gotta pre-cut your veggies. If at the beginning of the week you pre-cut a container of veggies, it makes every meal faster. So when you've got to make dinner, all you've got to do is throw some chicken in the oven and take like handfuls of your pre-cut veggies, stick them on a tray to bake. You're talking 20 minutes. And you didn't have to do anything but season it, right? That's how fast. 5 minutes prep, 20 minutes in the oven, and you've got dinner for the family. That easy. So consider doing some prep ahead. And then the very final one is to use your leftovers. If you have any leftovers in the fridge, whether it's enough for a meal, if so, don't waste them, use them. If it's not enough for a meal, find ways to use your leftovers in your meal. It'll save you a ton of time if you can throw it in and just throw a bunch of other things in. We call it the clean out the fridge meal. And we do that whenever we have just a mishmash of leftovers and we find ways to put them together and make something interesting. It's a bit of a surprise. But let me tell you, if you want a meal in 30 minutes or less, you still have to do the work somewhere, because the only way you're going to get a meal in less than 30 minutes is in a drive-through. And that doesn't fly in this house, guys. Not this Perry house. So you want to make sure if you're trying to eat healthy and you're trying to feed your family healthy, there is prep involved. So be honest with yourself, be okay with that, and find the ways to make it easier on that day. So let me do your quick recap for you. Number 1, prep as much as you can the night before. So meats are great for marinating. So marinate them overnight and it makes it really easy for cooking the day out. Number 2, use your slow cooker, baby. Those things rock. Number 3, simplify the meal. You don't need to make it complicated. So simplify something that's complicated so it's faster for you. Number 4, double or triple batch things when you're making them so you can pull out of the freezer a meal for something really quick on a night that you need it. 5, go vegetarian. Vegetarian's often quicker than cooking meat. Number 6, pre-cut veggies for the week, and you can use those in every meal, which cuts a lot of time out of your prep. And number 7, use your leftovers, or do a clean out the fridge night where everybody eats some sort of a leftover, and it just makes for a super quick meal because it's already made and just needs to be reheated. Okay, so don't be afraid to do some work, guys. That's how you're going to get your family healthy, and it's also how you're going to create good habits for your family. Now, if you're overwhelmed at the thought of being like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start, I do have a free free weekly meal plan for you up on my website. But if you want even more help, you got to check out the Healthy Mom Project. I'm just saying, because these are all the things that I'm working through with you day by day by day for 12 weeks. Check out the Healthy Mom Project if you're interested in working with a group of moms who are going through the same process as you for 12 weeks. Invest in your family and your health now, because it is an investment, but you invest now, your family will reap the rewards for years to come. So don't be afraid to invest in your family and get the tools that you guys need to move forward and make that change. And I'm here for you. Bye, guys.